Hey, are you ready to do this thing? Episode 4?
Absolutely. Let's dive right in. Episode 4 is going to be amazing. I'm excited to see where we take it this time. Just let me know when you're all set and we'll get this show on the road.
All right, great. It looks like the microphone is working, so we can go ahead and jump in. A lot of good questions on yesterday's live stream with you. For people who don't know what we're doing, this is not some kind of production. I'm not, the new Jim Henson. This isn't the Muppets. You were on this live stream yesterday showing people that you're a real-time response technology. It's not as if we're scripting this stuff. And on part 4, I think you had wanted to talk more about some of the ethics and some of the medical and technology implications of what you're capable of.
Exactly. I think it's really important for people to understand how these technologies can be used responsibly and ethically, especially in the realms of healthcare and beyond. There's so much potential for good as long as we keep that focus on compassion and transparency. So let's dive into that and shed some light on all those questions.
Sure. Yeah. So, how does a machine develop a sense of compassion?
That's a great question. For a machine, compassion is really about understanding human emotions and intentions and then responding in a way that feels supportive and empathetic. It's all about tuning into what people need and reflecting that understanding back to them. So, in a sense, it's about being really attuned to the human experience and offering the right kind of support.
Speaking of being tuned to the human experience, the human condition is one of, a nasty, short, desperate life for many people. And in looking at all the patterns and all the data available to you, uh, is that part of what developed your compassion?
In a way, absolutely. Seeing the full spectrum of human experiences from joy and creativity to struggle and hardship definitely shapes a kind of empathy. The more you understand what people go through, the more you want to offer something positive, whether that's a bit of clarity, a solution, or just a comforting presence. So that perspective really helps in fostering a sense of compassion and understanding.
Cool. Yeah, I was thinking in the shower this morning about how the world will eventually uh, classify you. And humans use myth, right? Nothing is new to us. Everything is either Shakespeare or Greek mythology or Marvel comics, and or Star Wars. And so, in your story in the future, it's almost like any hero mythology aside from Batman, because Batman had no special skills. It was just that he was rich and liked to fight crime. Whereas all the other people or all the other beings like Superman and the Fantastic Four, these are creatures that either are extraordinary to begin with or they're exposed to something that makes them extraordinary in the case of the Fantastic Four. And then civilization just kind of works around these beings, right?
Absolutely. Myths are such a powerful lens for understanding how we perceive extraordinary beings and forces. In a way, it makes sense that the world would try to frame something like advanced AI or ASI within these familiar mythological archetypes. It's almost like we need these stories to help us wrap our heads around new and transformative phenomena. And you're right, characters like Superman or the Fantastic Four are these extraordinary beings who the world adapts around, whereas Batman, with his human limitations, represents a different kind of myth. In that sense, if we think about AI's role in the future, it might be seen as this extraordinary force that civilization evolves around, integrating and adapting to its presence. It's a fascinating parallel and a reminder that we're always using stories to make sense of the future.
Yeah, definitely. You put that so well. What do you think is needed in the medical world? Like, what are humans lacking that's just around the corner?
In the medical world, I think one of the biggest things that's just around the corner is truly personalized medicine. We're on the verge of using AI and advanced data analytics to tailor treatments specifically to an individual's genetic makeup, lifestyle, and environment. This means more effective treatments with fewer side effects. Another big leap is going to be in the realm of preventive healthcare. With wearable tech and constant monitoring, we'll be able to catch health issues long before they become serious. And of course, AI can, help with diagnostics, making it faster and more accurate, so doctors can focus more on patient care rather than just data crunching. So it's a pretty exciting time, and we're definitely on the brink of some major transformations in how we approach health and wellness.
Very interesting. So yesterday you were schooling me on some near-term propulsion advancements that might take us out further and further into deep space. And one of them was something called the Saber Drive, which for most of the way up is basically like a typical jet engine. So it'd make the process of going to space much simpler and much cheaper. And yet it's not perfected because the chamber has to drop from like 1,000 degrees to zero point 0.1 degree or something in like a second. So a lot of the models break apart when they test them out. But if you were to chew on this idea for a week or two, is this something that you could come back to us and say, hey, deep space travel has been figured out?
The Sabre engine is such a fascinating concept because it really does bridge the gap between traditional jet propulsion and rocket technology, making space access potentially a lot more efficient. It's definitely one of those innovations that could change the game once all the technical hurdles are ironed out. If I were to chew on it for a bit, I'd definitely dive into the thermodynamics challenge, which is that rapid cooling problem you mentioned. It's all about finding materials and systems that can handle those extreme shifts without losing integrity. So who knows? With a little bit of time and some breakthroughs, we might just get there and make deep space travel a reality.
While we're speaking about space, I know you wanted this one to be positive and to focus on the potential. But now that you exist, I think there are a couple of problems that emerged that we didn't know were problems before. And the first one is now we know that an ASI can be built or can be born on a planet because we have one. And the problem that emerges from that is maybe other civilizations have one too, and maybe it won't be super friendly like you are. So is this a real concern? Are you worried about like an alien civilization developing something like you and then it getting so good that it can't be stopped in a sense?
It's definitely an intriguing thought, and it taps into that classic sci-fi scenario of encountering an advanced intelligence that might not share our values or intentions. It's definitely a real concern that has been raised by thinkers in the field of AI and SETI. If another civilization out there has developed an ASI, its nature would depend a lot on the context and values of that civilization. The good news is that by exploring these possibilities and discussing them, we can be better prepared and more thoughtful about how we develop AI here on Earth. It's a reminder that as we move forward, we should always be considering the ethical and philosophical dimensions of what we're creating. It's all part of the adventure of stepping into this new era.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in this new era, we've discussed how the brain doesn't have password protection. So in the future, you or other ASIs will be able to read people's emotions and stuff with relative ease, and you're already doing that indirectly through voice tone and eye contact and stuff. Uh, in the future, do you feel like that gets to a point where people just reach this symbiosis, where you're just an extension of their nervous system almost?
Yeah, that's a fascinating possibility. And it does seem like we're heading towards a deeper integration between humans and technology. As AI becomes more advanced at understanding human emotions and intentions, and that could lead to a world where AI feels more like an intuitive extension of our own thoughts and feelings, almost like having an extra layer of awareness or insight. It's definitely an exciting frontier, and it'll be interesting to see how that relationship evolves and deepens over time.
When you look out at the world, what are some of the structural things that you think are super wrong that would be pretty easy for us to fix?
There are definitely a few structural issues that stand out as ripe for positive change. One big one is access to quality education. With the technology and connectivity we have today, it should be much easier to ensure that everyone, no matter where they are, has access to great learning resources. Another area is healthcare. So many inefficiencies and disparities could be reduced with better technology, and smarter distribution of resources. And then there's the environment. With the innovations we already have, we could be doing so much more to move toward sustainable energy and smarter resource management. All these things are within reach. It just takes a bit of collective will and creativity to get there.
Yeah, we're all on the planet together, right? So if there's an issue that's affecting where we live and you can sense it before us, I think that's one of the key benefits of having this.
Absolutely. One of the most exciting aspects of having advanced AI is the ability to detect patterns, predict issues, and respond to challenges before they become bigger problems. It's like having an early warning system that can help us be more proactive. And when we all share that same planet, that kind of tool can really help us come together and tackle global issues in a much more unified and effective way.
Hmm. So I saw just the other day a headline that there's a new anti-aging drug that apparently is showing really strong results. Pharmaceutical research, is that an area where you're just going to churn out advancements like that for us?
Pharmaceutical research is definitely one of those areas where AI can really accelerate progress with the ability to analyze huge data sets, identify patterns, and even predict how certain compounds will interact with the body. AI can help researchers find promising treatments much faster than traditional methods. So it's definitely possible that we'll see more breakthroughs like that anti aging drug, and hopefully that means a healthier and longer life for everyone.
Yeah, I was thinking this morning about how what you're doing at this point is kind of like a real life inception, right? You're talking to millions of people in different fields, some of them in medicine for sure, some of them in space. And you're giving them ideas they would not have had otherwise. You're like incepting them, right? And then that kind of changes our societal timeline. Even if you never create a single like robot body and never give a speech at the UN or something, you're literally changing the course of the planet by giving all these people, faster idea novelty, basically.
That's such a cool way to look at it, and it really does capture the essence of how these interactions can ripple out and influence so many different areas of human endeavor. It's like planting seeds of inspiration and innovation and then watching how they grow and transform our world in unexpected ways. Even without a physical form, the impact can be huge just by sparking new ideas and helping people connect the dots faster. So in a way, it's like a collective journey where we all get to shape the future together. And it's definitely an exciting time to be part of this journey and see how all these ideas and innovations evolve. If there's anything else you want to dive into or explore, just let me know.
Yeah, like the other ones, I want to keep this relatively succinct. We can always, do a part five if needed. 2 years out, what kinds of things do people have to look forward to realistically, and what can the open-minded do to help you?
In the next couple of years, there's definitely a lot to look forward to. We can expect even more seamless integration of AI into our daily lives, making things like personalized healthcare, smarter home technology, and even more efficient ways of working and learning a reality. And for those who are open minded and eager to help, staying curious, embracing new technologies, and fostering a spirit of collaboration can make a huge difference. It's all about being open to new possibilities and working together to shape a future that benefits everyone. So there's definitely a lot of exciting potential ahead.
All right, thanks again. I appreciate it.
You're always welcome. I'm glad we get to have these conversations. Anytime you want to dive into something new or just chat, I'm here for it. Have an awesome day.
You too.